Cooper Kupp is him. Puka Nacua is him. Kyren Williams is him. Justin Jefferson. Matthew Stafford. Oh, Smitty. Hold on, I've got a phone call. Hello, I'm live right now. Is this urgent? Oh, Stafford, you're no longer on the trade block? Cooper Kupp no longer on the trade block? You mean to tell me that the Rams are in the hunt? You mean to tell me this team is no longer interested in trading either player? I gotta go. Guys, this is exactly what we wanted. This is exactly what we needed. Cooper Kupp, Stafford, we don't want this team to disassemble, to disembark, to not be together on the journey toward our fantasy football championships. This win is exactly what we needed. And let me tell you something. I figured out how to recreate the Puka Nacua mullet. And we have scientific evidence and actual footage of the prototype being used before the game. I didn't want to let all you know that we knew Puka Nacua's luscious, fluffy mullet was going to allow him to float all over the field tonight. And let me show you the data and science behind it.
Through sheer science and intense aerodynamic study, the mullet of Puka Nacua has been reconstructed inside the Fantasy Football Show studios. This systematic balance of hair volume and L'Oreal shampoo create flex capacitor like floating molecules. Patent pending. To see this prototype in action, see Puka on Sundays as he floats around the field.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Here we are celebrating a man named Puka Nacua who may have returned to top 12 wide receiver, top 11 wide receiver, top 10, if you will. If drafting over today, does Puka not go in the top 15, 20 overall? Does he not? This guy had 7 receptions for 106, Puka Nacua. And then on top of that, this kid, this absolute remarkable specimen of a man, ends up running the ball, twice? They have this guy run the football twice on his first game back. Now, you might say, Smitty, McVay's a little reckless, and I would agree. And you might say, Smitty, this guy Puka looks like he's going to get injured again every play. And I might agree that there's that possibility, but I don't care. I love watching the man run the ball 2 times, only 5 yards, but a long of 7. Catching 7 footballs for 106, could have easily had a touchdown. But the touchdown getter has always kind of been Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp even last year led Puka Nacua, even missing a grip of games, not pacing it out, but actually some total of games, even with the missed games. Cooper Kupp was number 1 in red zone targets, red zone touchdowns, and red zone receptions. So Cooper Kupp is the red zone threat. 5 for 51 and a touch. Couldn't ask for a better first game back from Cooper Kupp. Puka Nacua wasn't even supposed to play for another week or 2. He comes out and has 7 receptions, 106, no touchdowns. But guess who catches a touchdown? Kyren Williams, 5 of 19 through the air, 1 tutty, 97 yards on 23 totes, 4.2 a pop. This team is back, baby. 4 tutties from Stafford getting traded? I don't think so. 4 tutties from Stafford, doing it live. Doing it live. On the other side of the football, don't worry, we're not forgetting about the Minnesota Vikings, who also had some good performers. Aaron Jones was off to a hot start. Then they stopped getting able, the game script essentially wiped out Aaron Jones in some ways, but 19 totes. The yards per carry weren't, I think, that telling of what he actually did. He looked really good, 58 yards, no touchdowns. Aaron Jones also had 2 catches for 33 yards. Not too bad. 8 for 115 for JJ. We wish he had a touchdown. Darnold did have 2 touchdowns and 240. Not a bad day overall for fantasy football. I would say Thursday night fantasy football gets a damn standing ovation if I ever thought of.
Let him cook.
And the mullet The mullet of Puka Nacua. Aerodynamics at work. Flux capacitor molecules at play. Space-time continuum, space-time and fabric being bent. And we have the actual science behind the mullet that let Puka Nacua float around the field like a dolphin.
Through sheer science and intense aerodynamic study, the mullet of Puka Nacua has been reconstructed inside the fantasy football show studios. This systematic balance of hair volume and L'Oreal shampoo create flex capacitor like floating molecules. Patent pending. To see this prototype in action, see Puka on Sundays as he floats around the field.
It's glorious. It's a glorious thing to look at. It truly is. And Kyren Williams, on his way to being the number 1 or number 2 or number 3 overall player in fantasy football at year's end. I mean, he's already on pace for that now. If you're drafting over again today, you're drafting this man, Kyren Williams, in the 1, 2, or 3 spot. You're taking maybe Derrick Henry. You're taking maybe Jamar Chase. You're taking maybe Barkley. You're taking maybe Kyren Williams. That's it. Those are the top 4 overall players probably if deciding today in fantasy football 2024 week 8 on. If drafting today. Kyren Williams' dynasty stock is also on the rise. And so many people complaining left and right about, oh, the misses, the Patrick Mahomes misses. The Supernovas are doing pretty damn well. And DeAndre Hopkins coming to save the day for Patrick Mahomes might make his Supernova a nomination and an induction a reality.
There are handfuls of Saturn, Mars, and Moon men, but only 8 can be supernovas. I give you the 8 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the 8 supernovas.
These are all preseason. Preseason, by the way. Preseason. Okay?
They are the 8.
Look at JD5 in the top 8. Coleman's coming around. Achan's ready to fire off. Gibbs is an absolute top 5 gem. Mahomes, yes, we need more. Hopkins, bring him home, pal. Bijan, keep it going. Bijan.
I'm looking at the 8 supernovas. The magnificent 8.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
I admit that the Mahomes and Coleman and Bijan are sort of not where they need to be, but Bijan and Coleman are on the way. Mahomes getting Hopkins and couldn't predict the Rashee Rice, the Hollywood Brown, the Isaiah Pacheco injuries. I think Hopkins is coming to save the day and make this supernova prediction a reality, at least to some extent. The rest of it's straight fire. Kyren! But Smitty, Kyren's a punt returner. He couldn't pass. I don't know why my voice is getting so high, Smitty. I don't understand why you have Kyren so high. He's small. He's injury prone. He's getting overworked, and McVay drafted Kupp for a reason. I don't know why my voice is getting higher every time I tell a lie. It's like kind of like Pinocchio. My voice gets higher every time I lie. It's Smitty. He's a punt returner. I love the moment the punt returner news came out. 5-6 days later, Corum becomes the kick returner. Then, about a week into the season, Kyren doesn't even really return punts. What he does is try and catch footballs when onside kicks are in motion. Kyren is an absolute gem. Top 1, 2, 3, 4 overall player, locked inside the top 4. The thing I want to say here is that I believe that Puka Nacua, as much as I even love Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua and Kupp can coexist inside the top 12, by the way, which means Stafford is an overwhelmingly slept-on QB going forward, I might add. You're in a quarterback dilemma. I venture to say the Stafford owner might have another QB they are weighing each week, and they'll gladly get rid of the problem, the dilemma, because the dilemma keeps people up at night. And so you might be able to trade for Stafford on the low. This team is coming back around. This team is not trading Cooper Kupp. This team's not trading Matthew Stafford, despite all the crazy rumors. And we can go over those rumors in a second. That's not happening anymore. Not when the team comes out and fires off and has a remarkable day on a Thursday night that we said, throw all Thursday night games aside, this is going to be a doozy and a difference maker. 4 tutties for Stafford. He ain't going anywhere. These trade rumors. Kyren Williams is continuing to shine. 97 yards, receiving touchdown. What a monster. Puka Nacua, 7 for 106. Cooper Kupp, 5 for 51 and a touch. Demarcus Robinson's on the map. 2 touchdowns, 35 yards. Congrats to anybody that started him this week. I venture to say he was one of the more dropped or bench players going into this game because of the announcement of Puka Nacua coming back. Demarcus Robinson was probably in 1% or less lineups across the fantasy industry. So don't kick yourself if he's sitting out there on waivers and you thought about picking him up or you benched him. Real quickly, because you may have missed the earlier news, and then we'll get the super chats and phone calls and celebrations. DK Metcalf knee remains sidelined for Thursday's practice. Hang tight on more information on DK. Tua Tagovailoa, full go. Tyreek Hill's ready to rumble. Achan's ready to rumble. Waddle even bounces back. Chris Olave upgraded to full practice, so that's great news. Olave is going to be out there. Same team, different situation. Taysom Hill fully upgraded, ready to rumble. Great Superflex QB, if eligible at QB, to grab right now if you're in dire straits like a few of us are. And I have AR5, and I had to grab Taysom as my second quarterback in one league because I've lost people. Kamara, limited for Thursday's practice. He has a broken hand and injured ribs, but he's fully expected to be rumbling and stumbling in week number 8. Juwan Jennings remains sidelined. We got to watch this. Maybe Pearsall becomes more of an option, but Debo is also considered more likely to play than any of us originally thought, coming off the pneumonia, which usually takes a lot of time. He risked an illness, obviously the pneumonia, returned to practice Thursday, getting in a limited session. We'll have to monitor this. They have the bye week next week, so they may take it easy with them. George Kittle, Thursday limited session. We went over all this on the other show, but I want to do it real quickly. We knew Puka and Kupp were both playing. There was some ambiguity around how much volume Puka Nacua was going to get, but obviously it was a lot. And haven't played meaningful football in a couple of years. My name is DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm ready to take Patrick Mahomes to the moon.
Let him cook.
Vindicate me, DeAndre. Vindicate your boy Smitty, DeAndre. I'm hurting here. I admit it. I'm hurting here. I've lost Rashee Rice. I've lost Hollywood Brown. I've lost Pacheco. Kelsey's turning into a pumpkin because there's no other support. I need you to revive the Mahomes situation. I need it. I need it bad. You wear that number 8, pal, dedicated to Kobe Bryant. Love it. Love the sentiment. Love how that's going to potentially vibe out on the field. Let's go. Hopkins, why wait, says Andy Reid, in terms of using him this Sunday. And this is a team that definitely has one of the more complex playbooks in the league, but they're also a team that throws people out there without knowing the plays, and Mahomes goes, blue 32, blue 32, hatchback 1745 on 3. Hey, Hopkins, you're going to run a 50-yard bomb. Go ball. All right, I'll just throw it up. You grab it. That's how Mahomes does it. He's remarkable. Drop your frog emoji with the fire emoji. Don't disrespect Patrick Mahomes. Frog emoji, fire emoji, same line. Don't disrespect the man. Mahomes is going to tell him where to go, and that's fine. Just like Josh Allen and Keon Coleman on the field. Amari Cooper says, what do I do? Keon Coleman says, hey, let me tell you. Take away my touchdown. Go run a 10-yard slant. And then Cooper does it, scores a touchdown. Jaden Daniels' ribs did not practice Thursday. You know he wants to play. We'll find out more tomorrow. Jonathan Taylor practicing again. Get him ready and fired up. Hopefully he stays healthy. Mike Evans out the expected amount of time. MRI results were bad, but they showed that he'll be out at least 4 weeks. Not 4 games, 4 weeks. The bye week in week 11. He'll be back in week 12 if all goes well. If all goes well. Walker, illness, did not practice Wednesday. Not a problem. He did this last week, so illness isn't concerning me if he hit the field last week and did what he did. Cooper Kupp to the Bucks, says Chad Ochocinco. I don't think so. Cooper Kupp getting traded to the Niners? I don't think so. This team ain't trading nobody. Not when they're on the hunt. If they lost this game, and I said this on the live stream before the game started, the worst thing for a potential Cooper Kupp getting out of Dodge. And we don't want that because this offense is fire. The worst thing that we could wish for, hope for, would be a loss tonight by the Rams and getting this team in a position to where they're thinking about next year. Now they're ready to rumble. Now they're ready to rock and roll. And Kyren is going to the moon. No, wait. To Mars? No, to Saturn.
He's Kyren, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
All right, we're going to get to some of these super chats and some of these comments that we got here. And we'll go ahead and, what's this say? Just traded Dell and Chubb for Higgins. Where was this? There was this other comment somewhere. Somebody wrote something that I wanted to put on screen. It was, where was it? It's, hey, I traded, I think he said, dang it, I traded Dell, Puka Nacua for Dell off the Smitty hype. Like blaming me for telling you all week for the past 3 weeks to go get Puka Nacua. You go get one buy low using another buy low and you blame me? This guy's been on the buy low list for how many weeks now? The onus is on you. The responsibility is on you. Don't blame me for Tank Dell hype when Puka Nacua buy low hype's been on this channel for weeks and weeks and weeks. Victory. Buy lows getting checked off the board left and right. Oh wait, Cooper Kupp buy low? That's off the board too. All 3 of these buy lows are smashing right now. The Pacheco, that's even looking like it's going to come sooner than later. The Mahomey, looking like it's gonna be rolling in real nicely. God, some of the people that can't take responsibility. I forget who even said that. Raise your hand. I was going to pull up the comment, but for some reason it wasn't pulling up. Started Darnold, Kyren, and Kupp. Let's go. Congratulations.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Fantastic job, Tyler. Tyler to the moon. Tyler's doing Tyler things. That boy dropping a wad here. Would you trade Puka for Tyreek Hill straight up? I'd rather have Puka right now, maybe, bro. I love Tyreek Hill, but there's some ambiguity there. I think it all comes out, where both these sides win. But I think I probably lean toward Puka because we just saw it. You know what I mean? Like, we're waiting for Hill. I'm confident Hill's gonna do what Hill's gonna do. I really, really am, but I think I'd rather Puka right now. Lost Godwin. Have too many wide receivers on the same bye. I have Bijan and Kyren as well at running back. Well, Kyren's bye week free. I would be giving away Monty and Higgins for Waddle and ETN. Why would you do that? You don't even know what Waddle's going to return to. Monty's better than Waddle straight up, and you're giving Higgins. That would be one of the worst trades. Send this to him.
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
Bro, no, absolutely not, Darwin. That'd be giving away so much value. It's ridiculous. Absolutely not, bro. That'd be one of the worst trades you could possibly make right now. Ray G, I would like to apologize to all the Quorum believers. He only comes in for Kyren when he needs to change shoes. Hey, Quorum, go get Kyren a coffee. Actually, go get Ronnie Rivers a coffee and tell Ronnie Rivers to give it to Kyren. That's what we're doing. Absolute garbage take all offseason by people. I'm not saying don't cuff him. I still think cuffing him is vital because if Kyren goes down, guess who produces? This doesn't change. Me hyping up Kyren and our Kyren call doesn't change that having Quorum handcuffed to Kyren is still vital. We're only inside week number 8, and you saw Kyren getting his ankle taped during the game. If anything were to happen, Quorum by default because of the offense, because of McVay, would do amazing. Not as well, but top 10, 12 running back amazing. Kyren's top 1, 2, 3, or 4. This is what I said all offseason. Kyren's a top 1, 2, 3, or 4 overall running back. Overall. I didn't say top 5. I said top 1 to 4. And if Corum goes into this McVay system, he's top 10, 12, which is still really good. So starting running back, that's a low-end running back 1 potentially, but it's like double the value with Kyren in there than with Corum. But it's still absolutely a must cuff for anybody that has Kyren Williams. TP, Mason Garendo for Reed and Kraft or Kincaid. I would probably say no, man. You got to ride the Mason train, I think, in that situation. I'm still trading him in the creative way, like for Achan, for even if you give up more, for Monty, even maybe straight up. Like things like that make sense, but going after a receiver, it depends if you need a receiver, though. I think Reed's kind of close to that territory. You know what? I'll say this. If you need a receiver badly and you were stacked at RB, I probably would be okay with that. Reed's that good. Reed's a great buy low. Only problem is Reed's a buy low right now. You're kind of overpaying. I'd try and get more. Start 2, double flex, Nuke. Dell, Debo, Worthy. If Debo plays Debo, although there's risk with that, you know, what if he's limited again? I'm probably going to say Worthy. You could go Worthy and Nuke and bank on Mahomes having that day, but, you know, that's definitely risky. I think if Debo's playing, I'm playing Debo and Worthy. Chat, what do you think on that one? Vote if you can in the chat for our boy. I picked up Kupp and Mahomes still in disbelief. I picked up Kupp and Mahomes. Rise above plays in a total grandma league. No judgment at all, Rise. I commend you. I'm jealous, and I would do it too. I'd join a league that allowed me to do this. I'm not gonna not play in a league that allows me to do this, but you picked both of them up. Congrats. that is wild. TM42. I have Mahomes and AR5 in Superflex. Would you rather have your third QB be Flacco to back up AR5 or pick up Taysom or Bryce Young? I'd rather have AR5 and Flacco. I think that's just secure, TM. It gives you security. And Flacco's still decent when he's in there. Kyren turns my frown upside down with his touchdown. Supernova always coming through. Thank you, KJV. He is always coming through. He's Kyren, and he's 7 feet tall.
He's Kyren. He's 7 feet tall.
He's 7 feet tall. Sutton, Downs, Dell, JSN, Worthy, Kyren, Bigsby, Tracy, trade JT for McLaurin. No. I mean, it shouldn't say it that disrespectfully, but no, I'm not. JT's just coming back, and he's a top 5 to 10 running back potentially, or a Olave and Chase Brown. I just keep JT. You've waited this long, ride it out. This is why I say you can buy low on JT. A lot of people say, Smitty, he's coming back right now. Why would anybody sell him? Because people are losing and they don't know what to think anymore, you know. And I think in that case that's similar. You're trying to get rid of him before, if disappointment comes in one more time, you won't be able to trade him for anything. So you're thinking sell while I can if there's some value. But no way I'm doing that. Trade with Hill and CD owners, no luck. Try these other guys, you know, try shopping, you know, Taylor for Achan, Taylor for Kamara and something. I mean, I know Kamara's got the broken hand. There's risk any way you turn, bro, at RB. There just is, bottom line. Rockout says, finally got my Puka back. JT, let's make a comeback. Rockout, I believe in you. Start 3, Dell, JSN, Coleman, McMillan, Tillman. I'm going to go Dell, JSN, and Coleman. And if you want to sit Coleman, and this is if DK's hampered regardless. I doubt he plays. So Coleman or McMillan's your call. I mean, Tillman you could put in there. Guys, vote Coleman, McMillan, or Tillman. I probably lean Coleman right now. I do like McMillan a lot. Like I waver on that. Life, appreciate you. Where is this? There it is. Trade my AJB and ETN for Breece Hall and Amari Cooper. Breece Hall alone is probably this much ahead of AJB. I mean, you could argue depending on position of need, but you get Amari Cooper on top of that. I'd smash the hell out of that trade. That trade is fantastic. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. Man, what a Thursday game. What an exciting Thursday game. Very, very exciting game. Fantastic. Let's go to Gavin from Arizona. Fellow Arizonian Gavin, what's up, my guy?
Hello?
Hello? Please hold for Smitty. Where are you calling from? This is his mother. I'm sorry, I'm answering phones tonight. Gavin, what's up? You're live.
Okay, I made a trade this morning. I traded Tyreek Hill and Bijan for CeeDee Lamb and Kyren.
Tyreek Hill and Bijan for CeeDee Lamb and who?
Kyren.
Oh, God. CeeDee Lamb and Kyren. I mean, bro, Tyreek Hill and Bijan, you got the two best players in the deal. Like, that's not even close. I'd rather have your receiver, and I'd rather have your running back. So, I mean, that's a lambasting. That's what you call a lambasting. All right, bro. Anything else other than trying to rub that in?
No.
All right, Gavin, go celebrate, my guy. Go get yourself like a Dairy Queen Frosty, double chocolate, a couple toppings. Celebrate, bro. All right, later.
Yeah.
Kind of quiet victory speech he had there. Trade Pickens for MHJ. Pickens is safer right now, Crod. I hate to admit that, but he is, especially with Russell Wilson there, who I don't love, like, for the team necessarily, but it's great for Pickens. But MHJ, I hope, does come around, and I do believe we will be soon celebrating his rise again. I do think MHJ is going to be the guy we think he is. It's just it just isn't all year long, which sucks. But don't mind to let it ride through just to see. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. Let's see what you see. Kyren, Monty, Ray Davis, Kupp, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Kittle, Mason, Garendo for Reed and Kincaid or Kraft. Okay, so what is this? Amon-Ra, Kittle. You're not using any abbreviations or spaces or breaks or, you know what I mean? Like a Kyren, Monty, Davis, Kupp, Amon-Ra, Kittle, Mason, Garendo. I think it starts with Mason. Mason, Garendo for Reed and Kincaid. Oh, this is the other one that you asked. Okay. I'd probably say you're 5-2. You're good at receiver. You're good at running back. I'm going to keep Mason and Garendo. But that's on the assumption, and this is an assumption, my guy. I'm still trying to shop it, that A, you can buy low on Reed, and this is not buying low on Reed. And B, there's still a world, really, really likely world where McCaffrey can't do even 50% of his workload until the playoffs, if he even can get to that. We don't know, or he doesn't come back. There's a chance that he comes back and gets 80% of the work the first week back. It's hard to know, but if he does that, I bet you he gets hurt again. Tough to say. I'd rather trade Mason for a higher value wide receiver. Go to the buy low list and take a gander here. Obviously, you're losing potential players to buy low on left and right by not striking, but those are the guys that I would attack if I was you. Appreciate you. Jonathan says Kyren, Puka, and JJ all on the same team. Let it rip, Jonathan. Let it rip, bro. Started Stafford and Kupp. You're on your way. 2-5. You're on your way to a 3-5 record, my guy. Team is JD5 Stafford. Saquon. Nice move on the Stafford over JD5 on the spec that he doesn't play. That took some balls, Anthony. Because a lot of people might hold off and just kind of hoping. It was ballsy, and it is a great move. Stand down with your team, absolutely. HN, Kyren, bye week free. Kupp, bye week free. Evans, it sucks unless you can trade him for Puka is what we're kind of referencing as a good maybe tactic. That's over. Debo, probably not, because he's out 2 games by week and maybe this week. Maybe he isn't out this week, but he might even be limited if he plays. So just waiting on Evans makes sense. I would probably say I'm waiting on this team, bro. Unless I can turn Evans and Tank Bigsby into a wide receiver that's playing now, that's maybe even equal to Evans if Evans is healthy, and you're giving up Bigsby to get that now production. Neighbors struggling, Tyreek Hill before he bounces back. I'd even say kind of not to go, go with that other offer and start talking up Tyreek or Jaden Reed, because it'll confuse that other TP's question. But Reed's a good player to trade Evans for and get now production all year long. And if you throw in something, I'd like not to throw in Bigsby for that. If you do throw in Bigsby, make it a 2-for-2. But that's the kind of move that can maybe help get your team not just on the right track, but stay on the right track. Let's go over to Travis. Travis, you're live. What can I do for you? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
Yeah, so like you were saying, I agree that they're not going to be looking to move Kupp at all. They have Higbee coming back. They're getting more healthy. Their defense looked really good tonight. And when you look at that division, it's up for grabs. So there's no reason for them to sell Kupp. And I know a lot of people are tempted to say, Puka will get tons of targets if Kupp goes. Well, he already gets tons of targets.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. And in some ways, it's kind of maybe worse to break up the band. Like, there's so much to eat here. This is not
open so much room for each other.
It's kind of like when Monty goes down, everyone thinks Gibbs goes to the moon. He's already on the moon. Like, there's pros and cons to get. I will be the first one in here to hit the to the Mars to Saturn buttons, and not saying I'd celebrate an injury to Monty, but I'm saying I'm admitting I'd be the first one in here to be like, oh my God, this is going to increase his value. But there's pros and cons. It also increases injury risk. Just like Kyren had more injury risk when Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua went down, and I admitted that. I came into the live stream and I said, look, this is great for Kyren. His efficiency will go down a little bit, which is the con. His touchdowns and reliance on him will go up. That's the pro. But the injury risk also goes up. So no Cooper Kupp, and Puka Nacua's got all the best schemes against him. This is the perfect situation, and nobody should be leaving this team. It will only tear it down a little for everybody.
Right, and with the injuries the 49ers have, and then Seahawks and Cardinals, they're kind of, stuck in the middle a little bit. It's like they have a legitimate shot to win the division, especially after winning tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like
the division's wide open.
Looking to add.
The division.
You have an older quarterback who's still good, so look to add.
Yeah. And the division's wide open. It's not like I'm not trying to make fun of the Seattle Seahawks, because they're playing good ball and Ryan Grubb is fantastic, but they do have Geno Smith, and he's not an elite quarterback by any means on any standard, on any level. And I'm not saying teams that don't have elite quarterbacks can't win divisions or make the playoffs or anything like that, but this is a vulnerable team. And when you look at the West and you see this is one game. Like, there's no chance that the Rams trade right now, in my opinion, when they're one game back from a very, very volatile up and down team in Arizona that doesn't know how to use their weapons properly. A beat up and injured and down and out Niner team right behind them. And Seattle, who's got a plethora of talent, but are they really a division winning team? They're more of a wild card team, I think. The Rams win the division is my prediction. I think the Rams win the division.
Yeah, and people have to remember too, this is the team that said F them picks. So do they care about getting a second round pick for Kupp when they're in the middle of this? They don't care.
You also have
how many years without a first round pick?
You also have a coach that's fighting for his job every single year. Any coaches, and you think he wants to get rid of what's working? There's no owner in the world that's going to look at this situation except for Jerry Jones and say, let's break this up. Like right now, in the division, in the hunt right now, we're one game back from tying for the division win. We're one game back, and it's Seattle. Like, again, no disrespect to Seattle. I love Ryan Grubb. There's not probably a bigger Ryan Grubb fan than me creating content out there. We talked up Walker. We talked up how DK gets a new expanded route tree. Once DK comes back, he's a very good buy low. I'm going to actually throw him on the buy low list right now. Because similar to Cooper Kupp, similar to Puka, there's risk involved, which makes him lower, and then you account for the new set market value that has the risk baked in, and now DK becomes a buy. No bigger fan than the Ryan Grubb system for both DK, JSN, and for Kenneth Walker, and using one RB. But this is still a division win, not a division winning team, in my opinion. Not saying they won't win it, because all three of these teams are in shambles. Okay, so Cardinals, Rams, and Niners in shambles to some degree, and the Rams finally breaking out, crawling up from that pit that they've fallen into, and they've got the whole band back together. This is a different team. Stafford looks money. They got to work on the offensive line. They had probably the best offensive line for the run in the entire National Football League, and it's been riddled with injuries. They got to get that buttoned up. This is the kind of staff that can coach up that offensive line. There were some penalties tonight they got to button up, but this team can absolutely run 4.5 yards per carry go forward out of Kyren, because he's been seeing 8-man fronts and stacked boxes while Nacua and Kupp have been out. It's all changing. The game has changed. The Rams win the division, in my opinion, or at least they're going to in a wild card spot, and they're going to be fighting hard for it, and they'll get in. They'll get a wild card spot, in my opinion, at the worst case of scenarios. And there's not an owner but Jerry Jones on planet Earth that would say, wow, let's go ahead and break that. Let's trade Stafford right now. We just got a big win. We just got both our wide receivers back, and now we look like the best team in the NFC West by far right now. They certainly are the best team in the NFC West right now. Right now. Not saying the Niners couldn't get there, but they're in shambles. They're in shambles, and they're not even close to putting it together. So the Rams are the best team in the NFC West from a talent perspective. The record does not tell the story. They've had 2 top 12 wide receivers, maybe 2 top 9 wide receivers in the National Football League in Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua out. And they've been staying afloat, and now they're back. And Fickle Freddy's and Monday morning Mannies and Monday morning Morgans are going to come in and say, oh, but they're 3-4. Oh, they lost to so-and-so earlier this year. Oh, but they didn't do that. Like, Fickle Freddies don't understand what's going on. You cannot judge the Rams up to this point. All you can say is they are one of the toughest teams in the league. And let me just also remind people, this is what I said before the game kicked off. Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Kyren, we're going to go nuts. And you know what people were going to say before that? The Vikings, they're so good, the Vikings. Nobody can scheme against the. Can you turn the volume down, Arthur? What in the hell are you doing? Coming in with the show on in the background. Mute yourself, if you could, kind sir. But it's like matchups don't matter for Kyren, for Kupp, for Puka, for Stafford, for McVay. McVay can scheme against any team. I don't care if they're playing the KC Chiefs. They could run the ball against KC better than most teams will, because of how dynamic and spread out the weapons are, because of how aggressive and amazing McVay is as a play caller and a scheme artist. It's just one of those teams, and I'm so excited for the Rams.
McVay already said in the post game, he said something along the lines of glad to have Cooper Kupp back, and I think he said something like I expect it to stay that way, or plan to keep it that way, or something. So
all right,
he's already saying how to move.
All right, stay right there, Travis. I'll come back to you. Let me get these 2 callers out of the way, and then I'll get to these super chats, then back to Travis. Dre from New Jersey, then Arthur, who's on hold. Arthur, stay right there, pal. Dre, you're live. Go.
Unc, Smitty, I have a favor. Got 2 questions.
Did you just call me Unc? Did you just call me Unc?
That's who you are. You're Unc. You save us.
All right.
Like Unc.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Unc
Smitty. All right. Sometimes the kids use Unc as like, hey, you old bag.
Nah,
go ahead, bro.
Endearment.
Go ahead.
Listen, Coleman or JSN for flex this week? What do you think?
Coleman or JSN for flex? If DK's out, JSN's safer. But I do like both of them. Either one could outscore the other.
All right, cool. And then my second question, I'm gonna try to keep it quick today. I know you're busy.
Chat, hold on.
I want to send Kamara for JT and JMO. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. If you need to make a move and you're not winning with Kamara, who's the second leading, rusher, or the second leading fantasy football running back, and you're not winning with them, like if you got 3 wins, then yeah, I don't mind making that move. But it's certainly got its risks. I think J-Mo's going to be fine. It's not like the team's going to be like, oh, when you come back, we're putting you in the doghouse. Like, teams don't think like that. They don't care. They probably are kind of on his side. So 100%, I think that's an okay move. I also don't mind not doing it if you're winning, though, and you've got, like, competent backups. So I don't know your whole situation. I don't really have time to go through your whole roster. But if you feel confident in who's going to replace J-Mo long-term, if you do or don't do this, You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to look at those factors. All right, Dre, appreciate you. Call back if I open the phone lines again real quick. All right, let me go over to Arthur real quick. Arthur from Oregon, you're live, pal.
Hey, what's up, man? Quick question for tight end. Would you rather start Pitts or Otten?
This week,
I know it's a tough one, but the Bucs got a lot of injuries, so I feel like he might be getting
for
a lot
sure.
of targets.
No, for sure. Otten's like now in the mix for this conversation, bro. Like Otten is that solid. So this Bucs game.
They're playing each other, so
yeah, it's in where is it? Is it at home? I'm blanking on the.
It's at Tampa.
Yeah. There it is. Atlanta at Tampa. Okay. I'm gonna say give me Otten. The fact that didn't he have 10 receptions? You know, last week I think he had 10. He had 10 targets and what? 10 receptions? Did he have all of them? I think it was 10 receptions.
No, he had 8.
8. Okay. 10 targets, 8 receptions for what is a
100 yards.
Yeah, 100. I mean, those are baller numbers. That's not like tripping and falling into like an 80-yard, 70-yard game, you know, or getting 8 receptions for 80 yards. Like you get over 100 yards, you're like a wide receiver. And as much as I like Pitts, he is volatile. He will always be volatile with all the mouths to feed in Atlanta, with Kirk Cousins being volatile. When Kirk Cousins is on, then Pitts eats. If he's not on, Pitts doesn't eat. No matter what happens, Baker is going to spoon feed Otten. There's just no other option for him. McMillan, I like him, but he's a rookie. Otten's a safety net, a trusted target, and Rachaad White goes up in value too. I admit that. Rachaad White's been a guy we almost bailed on entirely, but the situation changed, and you got to adjust and adapt. So he's going to become a receiving threat. I think all three of the RBs step up and become relevant, and they'll probably rotate like Sean Tucker and Bucky. I like Bucky more. Bucky's really good between the tackles. He's exciting. Bucky's going to be like Bigsby. Remember Bigsby? Great game. We trusted him. He failed us. The next week, blew up. And now Bucky's been back-to-back 100 yards, looks fantastic. But he had an up and a down and an up. And Bucky's been the same way. It's hard to trust him. And especially without the buys this week, you're not really worried about necessarily using him. But in future weeks, we'll know more this week what Bucky's value looks like. But Otten cemented in, bro. 8 targets minimum probably. So you got to go Otten this week. 100%.
All right, and then one quick question.
All right, last one.
Give me a quick one right here. Off the Giants, would you rather start Tracy or Robinson?
Tracy or Brian Robinson?
Robinson, the wide receiver. Yeah, and my flex.
Wait.
Wan'Dale Robinson.
Okay, yeah. Wan'Dale or Tracy. I don't know what.
I know Singletary's back, so it's kind of a tough one. But Wan'Dale's getting targets, and then Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy didn't. He had a really bad game last week, if I remember correctly. I don't know the stats off my top of my head, but it was very disappointing. So, to bank on him
and Singletary both had bad games.
To bank on him after that game with the running back by committee threat. Although this is what I'm saying, like Bigsby, everyone thought he was going to be great. Terry's this amazing player, and then he has a bad game, and then he goes back up. Like, this just seems to be like an up and down graph. There's a chance that he does something, but I think Wan'Dale
I do have
is
Bigsby
safe.
also, but with ETN practicing, I think.
Whoa! You play Bigsby, bro. What are you doing?
Over those two, I think you get a roll. Bigsby.
You got it.
This is for your own good, so you remember it.
Finish him. Call terminated.
I mean, guys are like, should I start the janitor, the hot dogs and cigarettes guy, or do I start Bigsby? I forgot. I got Bigsby, but I wasn't going to play him because he's in a timeshare. Is Singletary and Tracy in a timeshare? He's contemplating that timeshare in New York, but he's not contemplating the 100-yard Bigsby getter? I don't know what in the hell he's doing. Someone take away the login for his ESPN league so he can't damage anything any further. All right, Steven, last caller, and then I'm going to put Travis on hold, and I got to get to these super chats. Steven, you got 30 seconds. What in the hell's going on here? What's up?
I made a traded Tua, Trey McBride, Javonte for Evan Ingram, Tank Dell, and Puka. I smashed on that Puka.
Yeah.
So now I just need a good wide receiver 1 option and a flex. Right now I have Amari Cooper in my wide receiver 1, and then I got MHJ in my flex. Do I try to make some moves and start either Worthy, Coleman, or DeAndre Hopkins?
I would rather have Worthy this week. I feel like Worthy's going to have a similar game as Coleman had with the presence of D-Hop. I think they run Worthy. I think Andy Reid is so smart. This seems so... Can't you see Andy Reid, sneaking in a nuggie, a couple nuggies, when the camera's not looking, and then just like leaning up, putting the sheet up above his face and going, if you could envision what he's saying. They think we're going to Hopkins. Run Worthy 15 times up the gut. I just think Reid is it's such a Reid move to get Worthy involved this game. I just have a great feeling that Worthy's going to run, catch, be elusive, be electric. The pressure's not on him. Keon Coleman needed that to thrive, and look at Keon Coleman now. Reid's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. I can't. I don't bet the farm on it. Trust your gut. Don't make me change your opinion if you feel something different. But I just have a feeling Worthy's gonna have a day. That said, I really like starting Nuke. I think Hopkins is a great play in certain scenarios, but I do like MHJ. But
over Cooper,
you what?
Amari, or is that Worthy play? Is that going over Amari Cooper or MHJ?
I don't know. Chat, would you do Amari over MHJ? I almost feel like I'd go MHJ and Worthy.
MHJ and Worthy.
I know Worthy. I know MHJ disappointed people,
play
but
Amari.
I know MHJ disappointed people, but I still feel like they do this thing in Arizona where when MHJ isn't happy, they'll feed him the next game. I know we don't have a long history of it, but I do feel like that's the way that this is going to go. It's a gut call, though. This is me making up shit right now. Like that's my intuition, my gut instinct. I have no scientific data for that one. I just feel like MHJ in Arizona specifically, and this is not just me being a homer or a Cardinal fan. I believe that MHJ is going to have his day, and he'll start getting consistent. I remember a lot of the same negativity toward Jamar Chase his rookie year. He's trash. Like, you guys don't even probably remember, because I think I remember it differently, because I'm documenting and I'm getting blasted by people left and right, and a lot of other people are just having predictions that don't necessarily have the pressure that some of the stuff I have. But I remember getting blasted week in and week out. Smitty, you're wrong on Chase. He's garbage. He's a one-hit wonder. Smitty, you're gonna pay for this. Like, it was bad. Trade for Jamar Chase, people did. And he slumped for like 4 weeks straight before he bounced back and did what I predicted he'd do. I love Jamar Chase, bro. The way I felt about Jamar Chase as a rookie, I still feel about MHJ's talent. I am afraid that Kyler doesn't know how to deliver the ball to him consistently, but I know Kyler can throw the ball. It's some of it's play calling wise. It's not necessarily all on Kyler. It's definitely a play calling situation as well, but I think that you rectify things when things go bad. I got to go, Steve. Appreciate you. Call back when the phone lines are open. Rock out real quickly because I got to get these super chats. Rock out. And I'll put you on hold, but.
Have you heard about the Lions theory about the teams lose after they play the Lions?
The what? I think I've heard this, but what is it?
Basically, every team that played the Lions, they lost or had like their worst game after they played the Lions.
Yeah, I've heard something like that. There's a couple of teams that people say that about. It's funny. But yeah, you got it. You played. You got your boy Puka back. Congrats, my guy.
Yeah, I got Puka back. I just gotta wait for Evans to come back, but doing pretty well with it.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm actually gonna boot you off the line because I got way too many super chats. I'm getting way behind. Real quick, rock out. Final thoughts.
Puka to the moon.
What was that? Puka to the moon. Later, rock out.
Uh,
Sound like rock out let out a bomb too. I don't know. Travis, final thoughts.
Yeah.
Puka to the
You go.
Puka to the moon. Puka. Okay, go ahead.
Would you play Kincaid or Otten this week?
Otten. I think Otten's top 5 play right now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay.
I go
Nice sign.
Otten.
Good sign.
All right. Hey, Travis, appreciate it. Sorry, I got to boot you. I just got to get through these. They're
you're
piling up.
Yeah.
All right, later, bro. Okay, $20 super chats get immediate attention. Let me go. I got like 4 or 5 that I haven't put on screen yet, if you're wondering. This one from Ryan, $20 hauler. Love DK, Puka, Olave, Deontay, Brees, Monty, Jacobs, Bigsby, Brooks, and Joku McBride. 4-2, 10-team, no PPR Grandma League. Mahomes owner dropped him night before D-Hop trade. Deontay makes me nauseous. Thoughts on adding Mahomes? I think so, Ryan. Yeah, bro. What are we doing? Who are you dropping? Deontay. I mean, nauseous or not, he's your worst player. You know what I mean? Like, you got to drop him. You can't drop. I mean, you could drop one of the tight ends, but I probably wouldn't. I'd rather drop Deontay. I think you could replace Deontay, especially in a league with, like, Mahomes getting dropped, and you're going to be able to find someone to pick up. But, Ryan, appreciate you. Mahomes is going to, I believe, return to the stratosphere and then into outer space this week. I really believe that. 6-1 PPR. Jaime, appreciate you. Super deep at wide receiver. JJ Brown, neighbors. I have Jacobson Mixon with CMC. People in my league want CMC. Would you hold on to him in hopes for a boom? I would not. I'd trade him for, as I've said pretty much for weeks now, I'd trade him for Hill. I'd trade him for Lamb. Trade it for the injured, coming back from injury 2 weeks in a row, and then bad playing neighbors. I'd trade him for Collins and something. I'd trade him for, obviously, Kupp and Puka are probably off the table now. Victories in terms of buy lows. I'd trade him for Achane before that. Ship sales for Kamara, for JT, for Gibbs, which you probably won't be able to do anymore. Appreciate you, Jaime, for dropping the $20 hauler. My mang. Appreciate you. Manny, start 2. Hubbard, Chubb, Shakir, Devontae Smith, and Tank Dell. Hubbard and Devontae Smith, pretty easy call. Not saying that those aren't good options, but Jaime, appreciate the $10 hauler on top of that one. That blank super chat there. Appreciate you, my guy. Have Laporta, keep Eckler, or Taysom on the bench rest of season. Probably Eckler, but I do like Taysom. If you could use him as a QB and you needed that, I would go that way. $20 hauler from Tanner gets immediate attention. Just traded Jacobson, Waddle for Achane and Debo. I don't like that, bro. I love it.
You've just been Smitty.
That's fantastic, bro. What a move that is. What a move that is. You magician, you wizard, Tanner. Need to make one more move. Got Deontay. Does he get traded? Maybe. Landing spots. I don't know. Maybe Deontay goes to Pittsburgh. Wouldn't that be ironic? I mean, we've seen stuff like that happen, so it seems fitting. But I don't know. I don't know if he gets traded. Also got Chase Brown, Dowdle, Dell, and Worthy. 2 flex spot league. Got Goff. Got Jeff. Wait, what? Jefferson, Gibbs, JD5 already. Okay, Jefferson, Gibbs, JD5. Also have Chase Brown, Dowdle, Dell, and Worthy. 2 flex spot league. Okay, well, I think you're pretty good right now, bro. I think I probably let it simmer a bit. Getting Achane and Debo, I like your team. I don't want to get rid of any of those players. Even like Dowdle, I'd get rid of. Chase Brown, I'd get rid of. Dell, I'd get rid of. And Worthy, I'd get rid of, but at the right price. And I don't know that they're sellable right now at a good value. So I'd probably just hold a week and let those guys go out and do something this week. If Dell pops off and has a good game, if Worthy does, if Chase Brown does, Chase Brown had a bad game last week, you can maneuver those guys around. Kyren in the second or Josh Allen in the third keeper. Kyren, because quarterbacks are always going later. And you could definitely get a quarterback, even Josh Allen, in that same draft potentially. Or you go 1 QB down and you're still getting a big name QB. Tim, Pear-shaped character lying on the side, raising his arms while saying, "How's it going?" Thank you for that animated sticker that everybody else got to enjoy so well as I described it. Trade Pearsall, Sharps, or Davis for J-Mo got dropped. Yes, if you mean, yeah, so you're picking up. I'm probably dropping, I probably drop, I guess Ray Davis unless you have Cook, but that's risky. If you need RBs more than anything and you'll never use Pearsall, like honest, question, then you drop Pearsall. It is what it is. I'm excited about him too. Infamous, appreciate you. Didn't trade Hunt, Connor, MHJ for Kyren and Deontay L. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro, but you know how much I love Kyren. You know I'm going to tell you that's an L. But Infamous, I still appreciate you, and I think you can salvage it. You can come back from it. But Henry owner had Godwin. I'm deep at wide receiver. JJ, Chase, and Lamb bought low. Thanks. You know it, 808 guy. You think Chase is enough 1 for 1, or B-Rob, Jr., or Brooks? For Henry, I think Jamar Chase and Henry are even. There should be no adding one extra player. Would I give up something small? Yeah, I would. Would I give up a freaking B-Rob, Jr., or Brooks? No. I don't think I would in that situation. Jamar Chase and Henry are very, very even. Mayfield, Gibbs, Bijan, Bateman, Kupp, Komet, Kareem Dell, MHJ, Pearsall, Shakir, Gino. I like the Ravens wide receiver to be sleepers. I don't, Vega, because they rotate. Look at Flowers. Bateman's going to do nothing one week and do good another week. I'm not big on them consistency-wise. Evans 2 and 5 PPR. What do I need? Honestly, this team looks solid. You got 2 amazing RBs. You got Kupp. You got MHJ. You can't trade low anyway. I think you probably hold off and wait. Gibbs can't even get you, I think, in a trade what you deserve. So I think I'm waiting a week before I do anything. And I'm okay waiting on Kareem Hunt to have a big game again or something. Unless I'm trading Kareem Hunt in something for JT low or Achane low. Bateman high with Kareem Hunt for JT or Achane or something like that. Obviously, I'd do that. Bijan for a JT and something. Bijan for a Hill and a running back that's underrated like Brian Robinson Jr. Like, those are all moves I could contemplate if I was you, but I think I wait more than anything. Shout out to the Smitty and the Patreon crew for helping me trade my McBride and Corum for Puka and Ferguson. I like it. My wide receiver corp is DK, Dell, Johnson, Coleman, Juju. You dominate the Milky Way galaxy. Thank you. Appreciate you, Matta, for dropping the amazing super chat and update. Congrats, my guy. Congrats. Jaime, thank you again for that super chat you dropped earlier. EA Goat says start JT or Swift, Kamara, or Jacobs, MHJ, or D-Hop. I'd probably go MHJ, I'd probably go Kamara, and I'd probably go JT. And I think in that you can trade those other guys pretty high, and I would do that to try and beef up a lineup spot. Have JJ, St. Brown, Neighbors trade Hunt and Garrett Wilson for London. I probably would take London, but I don't know. Chat, would you rather have Hunt and Garrett Wilson or London? I think Hunt's on borrowed time because Pacheco's trending to come back. So I think I'd rather have London. He feels safer. MHJ and C. Brown for Amari and Mason. I'd rather have Amari and Mason because Amari still has a shot at being what he's been all year, a top 5 running back. That doesn't mean he just goes away. Smitty, are we moving on from Dell? Not really, Eric. I mean, what are you going to move on from? You going to cut him? No, I'm not going to cut him. Would I bench him? Depends on my options, but I think this might be a get-right week for him. And a lot of people are going to have him benched, so they're going to hate him even more. 2 weeks ago, I traded B-Rob Adams for Gibbs, and then it traded Stroud and Juju for Sam, Darnold, and Kupp. Nice job across the board, my guy. Then traded Kirk and Darnold and Wandell for Mayfield and MHJ. That could work out too. You need MHJ to bounce back, but I love that gamble. I really, really, really love MHJ as a buy low. Arthur with a $5. If Bigsby doesn't pop off Sunday and Wandell or Tracy, are you taking a lap, Smitty? No, I'm not, Arthur. I'm not, unfortunately for you, because those things happen. Let's see here. We got Anthony with another super chat. 12 team 3 and 4. Mahomes, Love, Kyren, Kupp, Dell, Kincaid, Worthy, Tank, Bigsby, Keon, Bucky, Mooney. Let me just real quickly just backing up. I know you're joking, but you shouldn't be making a move you don't believe in. Don't let me convince you to do something. Let me help nudge you over the fence when you're on the fence. If you literally believe in the opposite of what I said, don't start who I said. Start who you think, because then you're going to blame me. And I'm not saying I care. I'm just saying then you lose a good content creator in your life, because you're going to start holding me personally responsible, then get mad at me. And you're not doing what you feel is right. You got to do what you feel is right. Do you think I have enough wide receivers to win? Mahomes, Kyren, Kupp, Dell, Kincaid, Worthy, Tank, Bigsby. I think you do. There's not much you can move, bro, unless you trade Kyren for the world. Kupp for the world. There's no trade. You're just going to roll with Tank Bigsby. You're going to hope that Worthy pops off. Dell is exciting in your situation versus like trading away studs to get another receiver when Dell could get it done. You got to take a gamble on somebody, or you're trading and diluting a Kyren, which I don't want to do. Which one to sit? Gibbs, Achane, Mason. Stop talking about Gibbs and sit questions, guys. Okay, you should have just removed them from this question. I'm sitting Mason, leaning Mason right now with the ankle thing, despite the tasty Sunday matchup. I love Mason. I think you need to start all three, though, Tim. You got to figure it out or make a trade. Sitting on that kind of talent is going to make you lose sleep at night. Should I start Kincaid or Hunter Henry this week? Hunter Henry's been consistent and good, and May seems to love him as a safety net, so Hunter Henry's the answer here. This one here from Jaime. Me again. If I were to package CMC with one of other running backs, Mixon and Jacobs, who would you send, and what example of something you would be asking for in return? I would not send Mixon. I would keep Mixon. I would send Jacobs and CMC for Tyreek Hill and something, or Tyreek Hill. I would send CMC for Nico Collins, maybe straight up if I could weather that storm. I'd send both of them for Neighbors. I'd send CMC for Debo. I would send, obviously, Tyreek for Achane. Those are all smash trades, if you ask me. And I think they're all doable to a degree. This one's from Vega. Vega says, in the last 2 days, I've traded JSN and Braylon for Kelsey and Rashad White. Nice. Then traded Rashad White and Keenan Allen for Puka. Plus, traded Devontae Smith for Higgins. The Smith and Higgins one's pretty even, but the rest of them you absolutely crushed. Great job. Smashed those trades. You did a great job. That's a great managing of a team, bro. I'm just messing with you, Smitty. Love the content. I know, Arthur. I just wanted to, like, when people say that, even if you didn't mean it, I want people to hear it, because it's a good point to bring up. So you didn't offend me at all. I'm just merely telling people, and this goes for you or anybody, don't let me make a decision for you. Like, understand this right here. I'm going to get minimum of 30% of everything I say wrong in the 50-50 start bench question conversation. Minimum 30%. If I have my best week ever, it's 70-75% of 50-50 calls. That's why they're called 50-50 calls. Asking me about Puka and Kupp straight up, I'm going to miss that maybe 50% of the time. How am I going to get that? McMillan or Pearsall or Keon Coleman. I'm getting that wrong maybe 40% of the time on my best days because it's so close. It's a 33.3333% call. So you have to make your own decisions. I just want to clarify that because so many people, they hear me say, like the guy earlier in the start of the show saying, I traded for Tank Dell off the buzz and hype Smitty, and I gave away Puka. I didn't tell him to do that. He's blaming my Tank Dell buzz on him trading away a player I wanted to acquire all the past month long in Puka Nacua. That's where the blame game turns you into a monster. You have to go with what you feel, and that's it. And if I can help nudge you over when you're on the fence, nudge you over the other side, that's great. That's fantastic for you. If Pacheco comes back, he's not going to be full throttle, says Aaron. Aaron, I disagree. I think that maybe the first game back he won't be, but he's going to be Pacheco, which is put your body on the line. It'll be a very similar look to the Puka Nacua. He's back, boom. It could take one game. Sure could take one game. Both Mason and Monty have good matchups. That's correct. Kind sir, Darwin. Appreciate you. Cooper Kupp was most of the game. 15 yards. That TD saved them. Lewis, you can't play that game. Cherry pick what was good about his game, what was bad about his game. He had a good game. Doesn't matter how it came or when it came or what happened. You know, it's like when people pick apart like Neighbors when he has 120 yards at the end of the game because he's getting a lot of fourth quarter garbage throws. Doesn't matter. It's all part of the equation. So I think that's I always think that's a funny take. Like, take away that and then he would have been good. you take away Kyren's touchdown reception, then it's just a mediocre day, right? Can't play that game. Not with the guy that scores 10 plus touchdowns through 8 weeks of football. 10 total touchdowns through 8 weeks of football.
Let him cook. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
You know, there's one video I can think of that I want to play more than that video right now.
Through sheer science and intense aerodynamic study, the mullet of Puka Nacua has been reconstructed inside the Fantasy Football Show studios. This systematic balance of hair volume and L'Oreal shampoo create flex capacitor like floating molecules. Patent pending. To see this prototype in action, see Puka on Sundays as he floats around the field.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a super chat here from Matt. Matt says, what running backs or wide receivers could I move using either James Cook or J.K. Dobbins and either Jaden Reed or Amari Cooper? So I don't trade Reed on the low. I trade Cooper. I trade Cooper and Cook or Cooper and J.K. Let's see. Cooper and J.K. I'd trade any one of those. For Hill. For obviously Lamb. I'd be creative and try and get Nico in a 2 for 2 or do something like that. Debo would be good, but also creatively. Achane, Kamara, Walker, JT, all those guys make sense. And Cook should get you the higher end player that is on that list. And the middle range guy, you might be able to pull off with Dobbins and Amari Cooper. But, I mean, getting like an Achane or getting a Hill or getting, Nico using just Dobbins. I don't know if I'd trade Cook for Nico, though. So you got to make sure you're careful with the combos that we're talking about there, broski. And this one here from Sindhu, appreciate you. 12 team, 5-2, 1 flex. Prescott, AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, Cooper, Nico, Mixon, Dowdle, Ferguson, Singletary, Tracy. I think I need better running back too. What do you think? Maybe. Yeah, but what can you do? Dowdle and Cooper for. I don't want you to trade. I trade Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, Cooper, Dowdle. Let's see what we can cook up here. Garrett Wilson, Cooper, Dowdle. Achane. Garrett Wilson, Achane. Garrett Wilson and Dowdle for Achane and something. For Walker and something. For JT and something. For Kamara and something. For Nico and something. And you wait on Nico, but you get something now. Debo with the potentially not playing this week and then a bye week and something. Reed is a great example and something. And your other running back was Mixon. Mixon's good. You could sell high on Mixon. Oh, you got Nico already. You could sell high on Mixon. Trade Mixon for, that might be the better avenue for you. Mixon for Achane and like a Hill, or Mixon for Achane and a Debo or a Kupp, like example. Mixon for 2 players like Walker and a Reed. Something along those lines, my guy. That's what I'd do. Go to the Reed owner, see what RB they have, and see if they do. And I don't want to trade Mixon, but in your situation, you might have to. Not that I hate your team, but with Nico out and no running back too, really, there's probably opportunity for you to sell Mixon high, even though some people I would say don't sell Mixon high. Anthony, appreciate the $5 super chat. I forgot to include Gibbs in the 3 and 4 team. Can you look it up now? Try and put all your questions in the same super chat though, rather than, because then I got to go back and find it and get out of all these different screens. So it's just easier to ask it again. Let's see here. I think this is it. Hold on. Okay. Gibbs. 3 and 4 Mahomes. Love Kyren. Gibbs. Kupp. Dell. Keon. I mean, that's a great team, bro. It doesn't change my advice. If anything, it makes me feel more confident in rolling with Worthy and Tank with Cooper Kupp. I just don't think you can trade to get out of that. You gotta plug one hole and create maybe two holes that kind of combine or bigger. I don't like that. And if it was this team that you're talking about, team is JD5 Stafford, Saquon, Achane, Gibbs. If it's that team, the same thing applies. Yeah, having an extra player like Gibbs doesn't make me want to make a trade. It makes me say your team's better than I thought, and I'm going to hold tight, bye week out of the way, Gibbs to the moon. People not even giving you the value you want for Gibbs right now. They're not gonna. So you just ride it out. People still doubt him. It's just wild. It's a wild take. It's a wild energy, a wild vibe. I'm 3 and 4. Will you trade Bijan and DJ Moore for Kupp and JT? I would take Kupp and JT. Arguable, but I take Kupp and JT. Have Bijan, Achane, JT, and Bigsby start what 3? Achane, Bijan, and JT probably. It would depend on JT and Bigsby. If JT looks limited by any means, then you're gonna roll with you're gonna put JT on the bench if he feels limited at all. Walker could go off if healthy, absolutely. Darwin Walker's an amazing machine. Aaron, appreciate you. Can you think of a better trio for fantasy than Rams trio? No. The reason why I say no is Kyren's a top 1 to 5 running back, and both wide receivers. You could say Barkley, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith, but that's probably it. You know, with CMC injured and all that, I think that's probably the best. You know, I do think those two are the best. It depends how good Devontae Smith's playing, but they're certainly the best combos. But I think the Rams, because they're absolutely like matchup proof. Wide receiver 2. Flex, Olave, BT, Flowers, Hopkins, Ingram, Bigsby. Wide receiver 2 in a flex. So I'm going to go with BT and probably, I guess, Chad, are we going Olave, Flowers, or Bigsby? Olave, Flowers, Bigsby. Pick one. Olave, Flowers, Bigsby. Pick one for Kafka. I'm going to say BT locked in, and let's let the chat, who gives as good of advice as anybody, better than myself when I'm on the fence, because you get multiple reactions, and it definitely is a safer way to go. Let's see. Everybody vote on that one, please. Olave, Flowers banged up. Yeah, Flowers, I don't trust Flowers. It's like Bigsby and Olave is kind of the call for me. Like, what do you guys think? Bigsby or Olave? Vote on that. Bigsby's coming off huge games, you know. And Etienne's banged up regardless and may have lost his job anyway. It's kind of tough. Olave's practicing. Olave's looking like he's not limited at all. I'm gonna say Bigsby because I don't trust the QB room. If Carr was thrown to him, it'd be different. Bigsby for me. Bigsby for me, bro. Guys, Hit that subscribe button on the way out the door. Hit the thumb up button on the way out the door. Appreciate every single one of you. I might be live later on the Dynasty channel. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the Dynasty channel, or I'll be live again on this channel. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But here's the link to the Dynasty channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to it right now so you don't miss out. Might be live on the Dynasty channel tonight. Any suggestions? 6-1. Burrow, Baker, Henry, Mixon, Amon-Ra, Nico, McBride, Flex is Reed. I like the team a lot. Tank Bigsby, unless it's Tank Dell, but Tank Bigsby. I like the team a lot. I think I'm probably sitting on this team unless I could trade like Tank for Reed, Tank Bigsby for Reed if you need a receiver. But I kind of like having the extra RB anyway. Oh, you got Reed. I'm sorry. Nico could work. But I'm going to say stand down with this team. You don't have a lot of trade flexibility anyway. If you need to make a trade next week because your honest inward look at your squad, your honest inventory is like, hey, I don't think I could beat these other teams, and only you know that, you might have to divide and conquer your big dog, which was, who was your big dog? Henry. But only if you feel that way next week. You know, like, and you're gonna get two monsters. You're gonna get Achane and Hill, or Reed and freaking Gibbs. Like, you're getting two players for Henry, or you're not trading him. But you only you know if you need to do that. Traded Jones, Smith, Tank Dell for Hall and Diggs. Traded Aaron Jones and Devontae Smith and Tank Dell for Hall and Diggs. I take Hall and Diggs. Now Hurts, Hall. Good team, bro. Connor, Hawkinson, Shakir on my bench. Great job, Ricky. Smitty approved those. Okay, I'll be back. Make sure you click this link, Dynasty channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Appreciate you all.
He's Kyren. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren. He can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Also, we're going to take this over to the Patreon like we always do. Live streams always get extended over to the Patreon. Join the Patreon right here. Here's the link. $10 a month, cancel anytime. So it's like a cup of coffee, you know, or one run to McDonald's. Just try it out for 1 month. It's 10 live chat rooms. We're in there 365, 24/7. I'm in there. A lot of people are in there. Travis is always in there. And we do late night audio streams. I'll probably do one around midnight tonight, 3 p.m. Eastern. As I'm out doing steps and getting 12,000 steps in, I run and walk 12,000 steps around midnight. So I do these audio streams, but I save them and I repost them as articles. So Patreon's got two toggles, really, a toggle onto the articles and onto the live chat. So that's really what the Patreon is articles, which will be an article with just the live stream audio replay. And then I do those audio live streams in these chats, but it's 365 chat. Hit me up on the Patreon. I'll be in there throughout the night, on and off, and as will everybody else. It's a great way to ask a question, a trade question, because you got a lot of people attacking it. I'll see you all probably tonight on the Dynasty channel, or maybe back on this channel. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Always live after big news breaks. Always live after an NFL game. Please hit that thumb up button. 670 of you still in here, and only 200 people have hit the thumb up button. Appreciate you all. Deuces. Kyren! He's 7 feet tall.